I think playing online is too much fun.
It is. You should see Real Bridge. Well, you might get to see Real Bridge if you want to. Real Bridge comes from the UK. They're using it for the tournaments there, but it integrates audio and video with the bridge table. It's as much like being at a real table as you can imagine. And we've have an experienced group that have been playing team games every Wednesday afternoons on Real Bridge, and it's been good practice and a lot of fun. And I'm going to be doing one on Tuesday evenings in a couple of weeks for about 5 weeks. We're going to have some Real Bridge games, just social duplicate. No director, no master points, just play bridge for 12 boards or so, and then
And a hand review afterwards.
and a hand review afterwards. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's always good.
That sounds great.
I mean,
you'll hear from me about it in the next couple of days. I've got to work out my schedule for a while. I'm figuring though that my lessons, my formal lessons, classes and such, those will end on Memorial Day.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean everyone's going to scatter to the four winds this summer, including me. So I'll pick them up again in the fall, but I think over the summer, no classes, no formal classes anyway.
Good plan. So would you probably cycle through your PCC program again at the
Hmm.
three different levels consecutively
Hmm. Yeah.
after the summer break?
I've been doing that for almost
10 years.
So I'll probably
Oh, wow.
continue
Well, I'm
doing.
late to the party on that one, huh?
That's well, welcome. Everyone's welcome. Well, let's talk about.
Repeating. There's a lot of information.
Absolutely, yes. Okay, I'm going to mute everyone and get started. And of course, unmute yourself if you have a question. And what I'm going to talk about today is leading partners suit. When your partner has made a bid in the auction, whether it's Trump or no Trump, and you're going to lead your partner's suit, there are some guidelines that apply. And I think, I think against either Trump contracts or no Trump contracts, it's usually about the same. Let's say that we have an auction here. Look at the auction. On your left, north, we're sitting at west, and on our left, the north player opened one club. Our partner at east overcalled one heart. Our right-hand opponent says one no Trump. We're passing, and our left-hand opponent says three no Trump. Now, I didn't put a whole hand up here. It's just I want to talk about the heart suit. If we're going to lead our partner's hearts, generally the guideline is when you have a doubleton, the king eight, you want to lead the top of your doubleton. Whether it's an honor card or not, let's lead the king. And the dummy comes down, and if we show all the cards, we can see how nicely this works with partners holding. We lead the king, and declarer calls a card from the dummy, and our partner gives us an encouraging signal. They play the nine. Then we know to lead them back, and you can see what's going to happen here. Our partner will take the ace, and then the queen, and boom, we're going to set this three no Trump contract. Of course, that doesn't mean it was wrong for them to bid three no Trump. It might not have worked out that way. But that's just an example. Let's look at another one where we're leading partners suit. When you have three cards, if you have a sequence of touching honors like this, Jack 10 5, it's the same auction as before. One club, one heart, one no Trump, three no Trump. You want to lead the top of your touching honors. So leading the Jack, you can see over there in the dummy is the king, and it's nicely trapped. Our partner has that same holding. If declarer plays low, our partner can give an encouraging signal. Wait a minute, why isn't partner winning with the ace? Well, the thing is when you lead the Jack, it's either the top of a doubleton or it's the top of some touching honors. So partner knows that your Jack is winning. After all, they can see here's the king in the dummy, and they've got the ace and the queen in their hands. This falls to Mojo's first law of bridge, which is if you have a card, no one else at the table has that card, which means that your partner's Jack is winning the trick. And so with an encouraging signal, you just keep going, and you take all five tricks in the suit. Let's look at another example here. Again, same auction, one club, one heart, one no Trump, three no Trump. When you have three in your partner's suit, generally you lead a low card, especially from an honor. And so in this instance, leading the four would be the card to lead. In the dummy there, we can see the five and the three. Declare plays the 3 from the dummy. And now a partner knows to play a high card. They're going to play third hand high. We'll talk about third hand play in a few weeks. But they'll play the ace. And since you started with a small card, that's an encouraging sign. They'll come back with their jack. And now you can see you've got the queen nicely trapped there. Declare tries to cover with the queen. Then, I mean, that may not work out quite so nicely, but it is possible that it could, and you could lead back the 9. And once again, your partner knows to overtake because that has to be your last card. And they'll take that way. Now, it's unlikely for you to have 4 cards in partner suit if they overcalled it. That would be 9 cards, and if they're playing in no trump, they have to have a stopper somewhere, or you would expect so anyway. So what I want to do here is let's practice with these. I'm going to put up a holding, and I'm going to have some polls. I had fun doing the polling. This time we're going to play with the diamonds, and you've got the jack and the 3. Let me see if I can stop this and put up some polls. Let's say that we're leading partner suit. Now, these polls will not come out. These are anonymous, by the way. They will not come out on the recording, but it's easy enough for me to describe what's going on. So you're holding the jack and the 3. Let's say you have the jack and the 3. Which card do you lead? Let's choose one. Oh, isn't that interesting? It puts up all the questions at once. So you hold the jack and the 3. Let's just answer that one. So everybody put in an answer. We're leading partners diamonds. And now let's say on the second one, you hold the queen jack 3. What do you lead from that holding? Okay, we've got a few people who have finished everything, I guess. And you hold the queen 7-5. What do you lead from that holding? Queen 7-5. The last one, you hold the 7-5-2. What do you lead? I'm going to spend a few minutes on that one. I'll go ahead and finish all of the questions. We'll look at the answers and we'll compare with what people suggested. I'll cut this off in another 10-15 seconds. Pick a card. Okay, I'm going to set the poll aside for a moment, and let's look at the actual situations and see, and then we'll compare that with the polling in a moment. So I'm going to share this screen again. From the jack 3, it's our partner suit, and anytime we have a doubleton, we're going to lead the jack. That'll be our first choice. From the queen jack 3, when we have touching honors, we want to lead the top of the touching honors. So lead the queen. Now partner can't tell if that's a doubleton or if you have the jack, but if partner looks around the table and they can't find the jack anywhere, they're going to hope that you have it, whether you actually do or not. From the king jack 3, from the queen 7-5 rather.
Mojo.
Mm-hmm.
Out of queen jack 3,
Mm-hmm.
what's the rationale for not leading jack?
Well, the jack would specifically deny holding the queen, right?
I see.
If you have touching honors, when you lead the top one, you deny having the one above it, but you suggest that you may have the one below it. So leading the jack would tell partner specifically that you don't have the queen. So that's why the queen would be best.
Makes sense. Thank you.
From the queen 7-5, from 3 cards, we always lead a small one. So we'll lead the 5 with that one. And then I brought up this subject, which is the 7-5-2. I'll come back to that in a moment. Let me share the results of the poll here for just a second. And let's see what we have. From the jack 3, nearly everyone picked the jack. That's good. And those who didn't will next time. Pretty sure. From the queen jack 3, again, nearly everyone picked the queen. From the queen 7-5, nearly everyone picked the 5, the little one. Good. I'm happy to see that no one picked the queen. That's great. There was an old I don't know, it went around bridge for a long time that said when you're leading partner suit you always play your highest card, and that's just not true. It never was. But happily, no one in this group picked the queen, so I'm delighted to see that. Now this one is interesting. From the 7-5-2, what do you lead? About half of you picked the 7. About another half picked the 2, and well, and then the third half, no. We had 11 people picked the 7, 12 people picked the 2, and a few people picked the 5. So I want to spend a moment talking about that, because leading from 3 small does not have agreement throughout bridge. When I was coming up in bridge in the 1990s, I was taught to use from 3 small, and it was a very popular system. Actually, it was called Mud. The problem with playing a high one is that on your next play, you're going to play a lower one, which implies that you're a doubleton. You played high-low implies that you're a doubleton, and of course you're not. On the other hand, if you lead a small card, the 2, it sort of implies that you're leading low from an honor. And you're not. You're not holding an honor. So there are the 2 occasions where you can, if you lead high, you kind of have give the wrong impression. If you lead low, you kind of give the wrong impression. So the solution that was popular in my day was called Mud, where you played middle, up, down. So when from 3 small, you would start with the middle card, and then on your next play of the suit, you would play your high card, and then on the next one you'd play your low card, middle, up, down. And that would let partner know that you're not doubleton. Now, when I came back to bridge in 2009, that had completely fallen out of favor. The recommendation that most experts made now was that if you have raised partner's suit, you can play a little card. Or you can play a top card, a high card. I got it backwards. If you have raised partner's suit, they know you have 3 or more. That's the key thing. If you have raised partner suit and they know you have 3, then it's good to play a high card, because then you're leading the top of nothing, which is to say you're denying having any values, any honors in the suit. On the other hand, if you have not raised your partner's suit, then they don't know if you have 3 or not, and the recommendation is to lead a low one so they don't get the impression that you're doubleton in the suit. So that changes the difference there, and that's the modern recommendation. Lead high if you have raised the suit to indicate that you don't have any honors in it. Lead low if you haven't raised the suit, so you don't confuse partner into thinking that you have a doubleton. It's not important which of these 3 systems you agree to from when leading from 3 small. All that's important is that you and your partner discuss it. Take 10 seconds and say, what do you lead from 3 small? And I say, well, high if I've raised the suit, and low if I don't. Or Mud, even if you like Mud. I still like Mud for some reason. And what's more important is that you mention it with your partner and you agree to something. I don't have any favor for one or the other. But as long as the 2 of you have mentioned it, then there's no confusion involved. All right, that's all I've got for this morning, unless there are any other questions.
I do have a question. And if you have, say, 3 or 4 trump, you're playing in a trump suit, you have a singleton, and you also have partner suit. Do you always lead partner suit, or can you lead the singleton hoping it will be led back to you before you're stripped of your trump?
First of all, that's a great question. First of all, there are no alwayses in bridge.
Right.
So sometimes it depends on what your trump holding is. And one thing what will your partner think if you don't lead their suit? Now, of course, I always trust my partner to make an interesting lead. And if they didn't lead my suit, I'm assuming they thought about it and they had some good reason for not leading my suit. So if my partner leads a different suit, I'm going to think one thing: either A, they're void in my suit. That's kind of interesting. B, they're leading a singleton because they want to get some roughing tricks and they figure they can get back to my hand with my suit later on. So it may be right for you to do that. It also may depend on what those trumps
Right.
are.
Right.
From three small trump, I'd be
Yeah.
more likely to lead the singleton, for instance,
Mhm.
because I want to get some tricks with those little trump cards. So every hand is a puzzle that you have to work out, and they all have individual choices. So there's my non-answer to your
No,
question.
no, that's the answer. Thank you.
Okay.
Mojo, I had a question as well. So when you were talking about touching honors, leading the top of a touching honor, initially I was taught, at least in no trump, that you would only do that if you had a sequence of 3.
Well, that's true if you're not leading your partner's suit. But if you are leading your partner's suit, the assumption is that you don't have many cards in the suit, first of all. So it's unlikely for you to have a 3-card sequence in your partner's suit.
True.
So go ahead and lead the touching of 2 honors when you're leading your partner's suit. And next week, actually, I am going to talk about leading from a long suit against no trump. So we'll cover that then.
Perfect. Thank you.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you all. I'll see you in the game.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll take
Thanks.
another question. Go ahead. Jean? No?
No,
Yes.
I have a question.
Mhm.
I have heard that you lead the highest of your partner's suit, but you seem to say that's not a good idea. Can you explain
Can't
that
hear
one
it.
more time?
You had heard that you always lead the highest of your partner's suit. It's true if you're doubleton, but if you have 3 cards, then 3 to an honor, 3 to the queen, for instance, is best to lead the little one.
Mhm.
thanks, Mojo.
It's not going to make a lot of difference, but you don't want to give partner the impression that you have either touching honors or that you're doubleton. Lead low from an honor. Okay.
Thank you.
See you all in the games.